Today I'm going to share with you my recipe for a creamy lemon, what's it called?
Orzotto.
Creamy lemon chicken risotto. Today I'm going to share with you my recipe for a creamy lemon chicken risotto. It's creamy, lemony, full of Parmesan cheese, chicken, some spinach, and it just hits all the right notes. It's risotto, but made so much easier. Welcome back to Nancy's Homestyle Kitchen, where I share how to cook real food with simple ingredients and no pressure to be perfect. For today's recipe, we're going to use the breast meat from this chicken, and then I'm going to use some homemade stock that I already have on hand. Next week, I want you to come back because then I'm going to show you how I turn the rest of this chicken into the most delicious stock. Now, let's go over the ingredients that you're going to need. What I love about this recipe is it really uses a lot of pantry staples. So as long as I pick up a chicken and some fresh spinach, I'm pretty much good to go because I tend to always have carrots, celery, onions, or shallots, things like that in my pantry. So as you can see here, I have things to make a mirepoix, which is going to be our shallot, carrot, and celery. I have some orzo pasta, of course the chicken, and my chicken stock I have on the stove because I freeze that in cubes. So I've brought that up to temperature, so we'll be using that. But then I'm going to use a little bit of white wine, some garlic. You can either use garlic or fresh garlic. I just happen to have garlic on hand. Some baby spinach, heavy cream, butter, some lemon juice. You can always use fresh lemon juice as well, but I tend to have this all the time in my refrigerator and it just makes recipes like this super convenient. Salt, pepper, and then I have some herbs. As we're over at the stove cooking this, I will be going over all the exact measurements, and as always, everything will be listed in the description box. Now we're over at the stove. I have all of my ingredients here. The first thing we want to do is melt some butter because we want to toast our orzo pasta. So I'm going to go ahead and put maybe just a tablespoon of butter in here. If you've seen my recipe for my Mexican rice that I make, or Spanish rice, I also use butter or oil and toast up the rice. And I think toasting the orzo achieves the same purpose. It really brings out a little nuttiness in the pasta, and I think it really makes it taste so much better. So we'll go ahead and get this melted. So to the melted butter, I'm going to add 1 1/4 cups of orzo pasta. And it just looks like kind of bigger grains of rice. Like if you've had risotto, that arborio rice that they use for risotto is very plump and round. And this is just an easier version. I don't know if you've made risotto before. I've made it a few times because I really enjoy it. But with risotto, you're stirring and adding your stock to it constantly forever. I think it's like 30 to 40 minutes. And the stirring makes the rice kind of break down and turn into a creamy consistency. This is just a shortcut to risotto. But it will never take the place of real risotto. This is starting to toast lightly. I'm starting also to get the aroma of some toasted pasta along with the kind of toastiness of the butter getting browned. It smells wonderful, but I really want to see a good toast on this, so I'm gonna let it keep going. My heat is almost set to high. But it's just one of those, you can't walk away from it. You just need to keep stirring and watching it because it does toast up pretty quick once it comes up to temperature. Even just as I'm talking to you right now, I can see some kernels really getting nice and toasty. Okay, this is nice and toasty golden brown. So what I want to do is take this out into a bowl so we can saute our carrots, celery, and shallots. You can see there's no butter left in this pan. It all got absorbed into the pasta. The next step is to melt 2 tablespoons of butter in your pan and go ahead and add 1 stalk of celery, 1 carrot, and 1 shallot that is minced up or diced pretty fine. I don't want big chunks of these vegetables in the dish, but this is just classic cooking techniques and flavor that just build on top of each other. So you'll see when you start cooking things like mirepoix or, oh my gosh, I think they call it the Trinity down in the South. A lot of recipes begin with onions, carrots, celery, and that kind of thing. So we're gonna go ahead and get this softened, and this will take just about 3 minutes or so. While this is cooking, I'm gonna go in and add 1 bay leaf. The next thing we wanna add is about 2 cloves of crushed garlic. Again, if you have fresh garlic, use that. I don't have any right now. It was actually in my pantry, and when I pulled it out, it started growing into a plant. So, but I always have some jarred minced garlic in the refrigerator. Sometimes when I go to Trader Joe's, I pick up their little frozen cubes of garlic and ginger, and I have those in the freezer. But I just want to encourage you, don't feel like you have to have every single thing fresh. Just use what you have. And so today we're using jarred garlic, or what I like to call jarlic. So we only want to have the garlic in here for about a minute. If it's in here too long, it'll start burning and it'll turn bitter, and you do not want that. All right, next we're gonna deglaze the pan with some white wine, and let me measure it for you. Yeah, let's do a 1/4 cup. This will get any bits that are on the bottom of the pan scraped up. It adds a nice level of flavor, and it helps soften those vegetables a little bit more. I also want to add 1/2 teaspoon of parsley. You could use fresh if you have it. 1/2 teaspoon of thyme leaves, not ground thyme, you want the leaves. And let's do about 1/4 teaspoon of dill weed. Okay, we're gonna add back in our toasted Orzo. You can see how beautifully golden brown the Orzo is. I wanna get all of that goodness in there. Okay, to this, we're gonna add 2 cups of chicken stock. So this is my homemade chicken stock that I made with the rotisserie chicken in my Instant Pot. Come back next week, I'm gonna show you how to do that, because I'm gonna actually cook it right after I film this and show you all the steps that I do to make this wonderful chicken stock using your Instant Pot. It takes about an hour to make. It makes so much stock. I think it makes over 8 cups of stock. So for $4.99, not only do I get chicken breast for this dish, but I get this amazing stock that I put in some cubes and I freeze it. So come back next week, because I'm going to show you all about that. We also need about another 1/4 cup. So you want to start with 2 1/4 cups of stock. So as you can see here in this pan, this is where I had my frozen chicken stock that I put in there this morning, and just turned the heat on so I could get it thawed out and able to use for the recipe. I do have a little bit more chicken stock in there, and we can add this if for some reason this starts getting too thick when that pasta is cooking. We can always thin it out with a little bit more stock, so it's good to have some extra. I also want to add 1/2 cup of heavy cream. So now all we do is stir this often. We don't have to stir it continually like we do when we're making risotto. This is our Orzotto, but by stirring it, it's going to help the starches in the pasta break down a little bit more while this is cooking to help give us that creamy consistency. So this might take 9 to 12 minutes depending on the brand and type of orzo pasta that you're using. As you can see, a lot of the moisture has absorbed. I just tasted the pasta. It is still not quite tender enough, so I'm going to add just a little bit, maybe a tablespoon or so of that reserved chicken stock. And I'm just going to keep stirring it. You can see how it's really nice and creamy, but it is going to require a little bit more of the stock to finish cooking the pasta. And just add a little bit at a time. At that point where I had showed you where it had thickened up, that had cooked for 9 minutes. So the 9 to 12 or 13 minutes is going to be pretty accurate, just for your reference. And at this point, I am pretty much stirring it constantly. So that in total right there, that was a 1/4 cup of additional stock. As that pasta gets more tender and turns more creamy, it is really absorbing that stock quickly. So let's see where we're at. I like my pasta al dente. Just a little bit more. Just going to add that whole 1/4 cup because I know this has about 2 more minutes. Okay, this is ready to go. The last thing we want to do is add about a tablespoon of lemon juice. If you have fresh lemon juice, that would absolutely be the best, but I don't. So I'm just going to use what I have. And that's going to give it a hint of brightness. Now, as you notice, we haven't added any salt and pepper. So now is the time where I'm going to add just a bit because as I had been sampling it for the tenderness and the right consistency, I noticed that it did need a bit, not very much. While I was cooking, I chopped up 2 cups of spinach. I took the stems off and then chopped it. I like smaller bits of spinach in this instead of the whole big leaf. And this spinach will wilt down as soon as it hits this really quick. Let's go ahead and take our bay leaf out because we don't need to mistake that for spinach. And I'm going to go ahead and turn the heat off. What we also did was my husband helped me and we carved the 2 chicken breasts off of that rotisserie chicken. So what you want to do here is just remove the skin and we will add that to the stock because the skin is not crispy and I don't want to incorporate that into the dish. And then I'm just gonna slice up this chicken. Go ahead and add your diced chicken to the dish. I'm going to turn the heat back on. Stir that around until it's warmed through. The chicken was already just room temperature, so it's only just going to take a moment. And then finish with a tablespoon of butter. It'll help give it a nice glossiness to it. This is very colorful, fragrant. Okay, and before we go in with the Parmesan cheese, let's taste it. Make sure it's not too salty because the Parmesan is going to add some salt to it. And just the right level of lemon juice just to give it a brightness. And then you're going to want to add a lot of Parmigiano Reggiano. You could use Romano cheese as well. I'm actually going to turn the heat off. You want a good at least half a cup of cheese in here. Gosh, this looks so good. And the last thing I'm gonna do is just a fine drizzle of a little bit of heavy cream. Just to reintroduce a little bit more creaminess. Okay, we are done. I'm gonna go ahead and plate this up and we'll head back over and give it a try. And here we have our creamy lemon chicken Orzotto. It's nice and steaming hot. Now, I didn't have parsley, but I did have some extra spinach. So just use what you have. I just finely shredded some spinach to use as a little nice garnish. And then, of course, a little bit more Parmesan cheese. And we'll go ahead and give it a try. And here we have our creamy lemon chicken Orzotto. Now, as you could see, the Orzo is nice and toasty, which to me is very reminiscent of what I expect in a risotto. But again, this took much less time, much less stirring, and it's still gonna taste fantastic. You get the brightness of the lemon, the herbs, the Parmesan comes through, the toastiness of the Orzo, and then that tender Costco chicken. It just brings this whole dish together. This is a quick weeknight meal. Again, it uses a ton of pantry staples. I hope you give this recipe a try. As always, hit the like button, consider subscribing, and don't forget, come back next week because I'm gonna film how I make the most beautiful chicken stock in my Instant Pot with the rest of that rotisserie chicken from Costco. It's super easy and it yields a ton of flavor. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next week.